What's going on, everyone? So reports came out that LeBron James is expected to stick around. Now, he did say in the press conference, like, doesn't know, whatever, right? But he's not going anywhere. Right? Luka extended his career. He's probably playing, my guess, probably another 2 years. I think he'll play probably 2 more years, and then he'll hang it up. Maybe after next year, maybe he considers it. But I think that he's got at least 1 more year under his belt. Now, that's fine. I don't mind LeBron sticking around. LeBron was still incredible this season, and even in the playoffs, he was still every bit, right? Obviously, he doesn't have the reserve in the tank the way he used to, right? It was very apparent in fourth quarters. He was gassed, he was tired, but he also had so much responsibility, particularly on the defensive side, right? So I can't really get on him and Luka too much. I mean, don't get me wrong, they were flawed. LeBron James had some terrible moments and sequences in that game, from just the ill-advised, half-court three to the turnover the next possession, right? Like, there were moments that you just wish you could rewind and just remove and edit, right? But unfortunately, you can't go back. But as far as LeBron kind of being the second guy next to Luka, I'm fine with that. But LeBron can't take $50 million. He can't, right? Because Lakers have a lot that they need. Right? They need center, in my opinion, multiple centers. They need to upgrade the overall depth, and they need athletes, right? They need guys that can come in and just, do the dirty work, do the heavy lifting, rebound the basketball, chase down those 50-50 balls, sacrifice the ball, do the dirty work, play defense, right? Hit the open shot, all of that, right? And if LeBron is taking 50 plus million at his age, knowing that he's going to need to miss time, he doesn't have the reserve that he used to have and all that stuff. And so we need to put the team around him in order to properly allow him to be fresher and be more ready and be able to close games down the stretch with him and Luka and stuff. He's got to take a discount, right? Because look, the Lakers are in good shape regardless. Like, they're not in like OKC shape, right? But they are in good shape. They have, if you include Austin Reeves, they have like $60 million in expiring contracts, which we've seen has been incredibly valuable with the new CBA. Austin Reeves, as poor as he was in the playoffs, I do believe that he still has a ton of value. There's teams that are going to want him, that are going to be like, he'll do better with us, right, type thing. Right? And there's teams that also just, they don't really care about winning championships. They just like, hey, Austin Reeves is going to be really good in the regular season. He's going to play 80 games, and he's going to make us a playoff team. Like, that's good enough, and they'll go and trade for him. So, not worried about that. You got Dalton Connect, who, teams would love to have, right? Like, you got assets. You got a couple firsts, a couple pick swaps, right? Lakers are in good shape and should be in good shape going into this offseason, and even potentially the trade deadline, depending on how this offseason goes, right? But you're not going to be able to get everything via trade because you don't have 6, 7, 8, 9 draft picks, and you can pull off all that. Lakers are going to need to sign some guys via free agency. Now, luckily, the salary cap goes up. It's supposed to go up, I believe, $14 million. So that gets you $14 million more, right? That's the difference between the Lakers being first apron, second apron team, right? 2, another thing that it does is if LeBron James is willing to take that discount, right? Because he can take whatever he wants. Like, he can take a vet minimum if he wants. He's not going to take a vet minimum, but would he take $20 million? 25 million and clear 30 to 35 million off the books, right? Now you essentially just got 40 million, 50 million in salary cap because you also have expiring guys that fall off the book. Also, Shake Milton's on a non-guarantee, so you could just waive him, right? And free up another like 7 million or whatever it is, right? So all of a sudden you look around and it's like, ooh, hang on, Lakers could essentially, granted they wouldn't have 60 million in cap space, right? But also they might be able to make a trade and unload a guy or two, right? There's options there. There's flexibility. There's potential there, right? Like, so if you're the Lakers, you have the flexibility, but you need LeBron to work with you. Now, LeBron James was willing to work with them this past offseason, but the Lakers failed to get anybody, right? I still stand by, who are we going to get? Like, I wouldn't have mind DeMar DeRozan, but the money that he wanted, the money that he got, no, wasn't worth it. Stay away. Jonas Valanciunas, I don't think he's the cure-all savior. Yeah, you could have gotten him for like $10 million. It would have been nice. I would have rather had Valanciunas than, no center, right? But again, are we winning the championship because we have Jonas Valanciunas? Probably not, right? And then Klay Thompson, yeah, I would have loved to have Klay Thompson. But again, the money that he wanted, he didn't want to be on the Lakers. Okay, fine. Then, I don't, he chose Dallas, which I think is funny because he chose Dallas because of Luka, and now Luka is a Laker, right? So if he would have went to the Lakers, then he would have had Luka and LeBron. Imagine how good Clay might have been. But I digress. Point is, right? The Lakers really got to put in the work. Rob Pelinka's got to buckle down, and he's got to make some significant moves, right? I'm not saying that you have to do everything in one offseason, right? But you need to get at least the core foundation. You need to get the center and, at least 2 or 3 kind of higher end athletes, rotation guys. And then if you move to the trade deadline and you can get that other piece or two, right? Like, maybe you're getting 2 or 3 guys, right? Like, cool, perfect, right? You don't have to do everything just in here's one major swoop, and I don't think you have to do anything crazy. But I do think if you're the Lakers, Rob Pelinka, cuffs are off. He has the freedom. Genie's out of the lamp, right? He's free. It's a free genie, right? So I need you to grant our wishes and start, putting together this Lakers roster. I need you to start putting together a roster that can compete and contend with anybody, right? Like, again, Genie Bus got in the way a lot, and it's well documented. Again, I encourage people all the time. Look up, some of these trades that Rob Pelinka tried to pull off. The Genie Bus just got in the way. Great example, Buddy Hield and Miles Turner. Lakers might have multiple championships if that trade goes down. Bare minimum, Lakers would have had Luka, LeBron, and Miles Turner right now, right? But again, it's frustrating. Can't change the past. Nothing you can do about it. But you can change the future, right? You can put yourself in a position and now where you can contend and you can win, right? Rob Pelinka said himself, hey, we're going to do everything we can this offseason to meet LeBron's high standard for, championships and wanting to contend and putting a competent roster around him. I understand Luka Doncic, that was a big move, right? That was the piece for now and the future. You have to make that trade. You don't not make that trade. You have to make that trade, right? It sucks that the Mark Williams trade fell through and all that stuff. Fine. Okay. Context, circumstances, situations matter. It's fine. You're good. Well, now's your chance to prove it. Now's your chance to show this offseason what you can put together. There's going to be a ton of key free agents. There's going to be a ton of guys available for trade. There's going to be guys that maybe even want to go to the Lakers, right, via trade. And it's going to take trades. It's going to take balance. It's going to take a combination of trades, free agency signings. You're going to have to kind of wheel and deal here to get those guys, right? Can you talk a guy or two in on a Malik Monk type, prove yourself type of deal, right? If you can do that, that would be great, right? Like, the Lakers need to find those key acquisitions, need to find the athleticism, the role players, right? Upgrade tier guys. They need legit two-way guys. They need guys that just make more sense alongside Luka and LeBron. Luckily, all the things you want for Luka, you also want for LeBron outside of maybe the center position, right? Like Miles Turner for LeBron kind of makes more sense than he does for Luka, where like a Nick Claxton makes more sense for Luka than LeBron, because LeBron likes to put his head down, get to the basket, where Luka likes to kind of get into that traffic and then have the outlet lob threat, right? And if they don't collapse, then he's just mid-range shooting over the top, right? So things like that. But nonetheless, right, the Lakers need to put themselves in a position to be able to get that. And the only way you're going to really be able to do it to the level in which the Lakers need to do it is if LeBron takes a discount, right? Now, we'll see what the actual, because, projected numbers and actually what happens are two very different things. So once we actually get to the offseason, we'll know what the numbers look like and kind of have an idea of what LeBron can and cannot take, right? Like, for example, last year, it was like if LeBron took a vet minimum, it doesn't even change anything, right? Because of who they have and whatnot, right? Well, this season, things are very different. Also, you got guys like Dorian Finney-Smith who's going in a new contract, right? Like you have potential flexibility and options here, right? You have ways to kind of manipulate the cap and do the things that you need to do. Maybe even unload a guy if you have to, right? Especially because they're expiring contracts. The team might take Maxi Kleber, be like, hey, a free floor stretching big and we get a second round pick or something like that. Sure, we'll take it, right? He's an $11 million expiring. Sure, we'll take it, right? So you might be able to make some moves to even clear off more cap salary to really sign a guy or 2 or 3 or whatever, right? We'll see. We'll see who actually becomes available. Because another thing you got to keep in mind is teams now get a head start on their own free agents. You saw it last year. A lot of guys signed before free agency ever happened. So it'll be interesting to see who actually is available this upcoming offseason. But there should be enough guys where the Lakers can make some noise. There should be enough guys where the Lakers could do some damage. And on top of that, you're going to have multiple guys that you can trade. You have valuable players. You have valuable assets. Like even Rui Hachimura, I think, has some value, especially with the games he played. Last 2 games, he gave you 23 in both games. It was one of their better players. He's still inconsistent, but teams aren't going to be looking at him for a star. They're going to be looking at him as like, hey, our 4th, 5th, 6th guy. Right? Like, okay, he makes some sense. Let's bring in, Rui Hachimura. He's on a $17 million expiring, so if it doesn't work, we can just let him go type thing. Right? There's value. Rob Pelinka has value on this team. It's just finding those right moves, but it's also going to take LeBron sacrifice. If LeBron takes $50 million, then we're in trouble. LeBron has to be willing to sacrifice. If he is, Lakers will be in good shape. But anyway, as always, this is a discussion. Pass a question on you. Let me know your thoughts and opinions down in the comments below. What do you think? You feel with your thoughts? Agree with me? Disagree with me? Kind of mixed in the middle? How do you feel? Either way, I'd love to hear it. So let me know down in the comments below. That being said, if you haven't liked this video, hit that like button. Helps me a lot. So we enjoy these types of videos, and I truly appreciate it. Not subscribe channel, hit that subscribe button. Turn on the bell notifications. Appreciate y'all. See you in the next one. Thank you.